Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hello. If you are returning, welcome back. Thank you so much for sticking around. I really appreciate you. So well, first of all, when you're seeing this, it's probably September 1st, which means it's Halloween 1st. So happy Halloween 1st to all of my friends who observe. It is still like 80 degrees outside, but it's like a crisp 59 in my heart. So like, I'm just going with that, and all my Halloween decorations are up and on, and I am thriving, okay? Today we're going to be talking about something that is kind of scary, so it is kind of fitting. We're going to be talking about a trend that I've been noticing on the TikTok, shocking, that I've seen a lot of other creators cover. This is nothing new, but it's just not something I've covered on my channel, and that is almost like neglect of children from moms that has been turned into content. This idea for me and a lot of other people kind of came out of the whole mom thing on TikTok who bought her son 32 frozen pizzas to eat for over the course of, I believe, maybe 2 weeks. It might have been a week. I don't really fully know that. And it's not just her. And honestly, I think she's kind of like a tamer version of it. And because I'm also going to be talking about the mom known as Donut Mom. Her name's, I think, Alexandra Sabel. They're like the two that I'm going to be using as an example of this, but I've just been seeing it on a lot of other accounts as well. A lot of it has to do with food, and it's just something that I want to talk about. I don't really have a script for this video. It's just going to be kind of off the top of my dome. It's kind of just like a shower thoughts video because I've been thinking about this a lot and I just need to talk to somebody about it. So without further ado, let's just get into it. But before we get into today's video, I want to thank today's video sponsor, FlexiSpot. Now, FlexiSpot has been a longtime friend of the channel and has always been my go-to for my office furniture, like standing desks. But today I'm here to talk to you about their C7 Morpher office chair. One thing about me is I value a good office chair because I have my booty in one more often than not. Between working my full-time job and then doing YouTube stuff and then playing video games, I need something that will keep me feeling supported and comfortable for a long, long time during the day. I'm currently in the C7 Morpher chair, and I plan to be in it for the foreseeable future because it is very comfortable. C7 Morpher offers FlexiSpot's Flex Lean technology in the backrest, which is precision engineered to gently wrap around your upper back. It can adjust up to 10 degrees forward to adjust to your sitting style, keeping your shoulders and your upper back supported all day. It also features the air lumbar support technology in the lower back, and it can be inflated to adjust to your needs, and the angle can also be adjusted to your preferences. The lumbar support also like moves with you as you recline. And unlike other chairs with this function, your back will still be perfectly supported when reclining. The next-gen upgraded hybrid mesh-addressed seat provides 30% more breathability and reduces hip pressure by 20%. And I can tell you, as someone who, like, the pain begins in her hips with a bad chair, I can tell you that this chair is extremely comfortable and very, very nice on my hips. It also has 5D armrests, which I have talked about FlexiSpot office chairs before, and this is one of my favorite features of their chairs. These move literally like all the way around, and I can adjust them as much as I need to so that my elbows feel supported the whole time and I don't experience any pain. And it also has a footrest, which I love because I love sitting crisscross applesauce at my desk, and this makes it very easy because I am 5'8", so my legs are a little bit long, and so I can't typically sit like that in like just the chair, so it's really nice to have the additional footrest to do that with. FlexiSpot also offers a 10-year warranty with direct replacement for damaged parts and a 30-day free return policy, so there's really nothing to lose with trying a FlexiSpot product. So if you want to upgrade your workspace with FlexiSpot like I did, be sure to not miss their huge Labor Day sale and use the link down below in my description as well as my code C750 to save $50 off the FlexiSpot C7 Max chair. Thank you so much to FlexiSpot for being a continued sponsor of this channel, and as always, thank you to you guys for continuing to interact with my content so that brands like FlexiSpot want to keep working with me. Okay, now let's get back into the video. So, like I said, I'm going to be focusing more on two specific creators. The one who bought her son all of the pizzas name is BoyMomX3_B, which the whole boy mom conversation is one that I could also have in a whole separate video. So let me know if you want me to do that. It certainly gets weird. Yeah, that's the first person I'm going to be talking about. And the other person I'm going to be kind of lumping into this is Alexandra Sabel, who got famous last year, I believe, and her name was like Donut Mom. And so we'll start with her. So basically the internet got to know Alexandra as Donut Mom because she posted a video saying like, plate my 3-year-old's breakfast with me. And it was just like donuts, like the powdered donuts that you buy at the store in the bag. And it really sparked this interesting conversation where people were like, fed is best, good for you, mama, blah, blah, blah. They were kind of, I think, assuming that she was like a lower income mom. And so a lot of people were like, she's just doing her best. She's trying her best. A lot of moms also chimed in saying, if you thought that was bad, you would hate to see what I feed my kids. And I didn't really weigh in on that conversation because I didn't know the full story. But now that Alexandra has started making a living off of TikTok, talking about what she feeds her children, and other aspects of her life. Now I know the full story, and now I'm like, girl, I could honestly probably make, again, a whole video on just Alexandra, because the problem I have with her content is so much more than the food she feeds her kids. There is so many instances with her of like, just outright neglect. I'm not sure, in my opinion, allegedly, hypothetically, don't sue me. I'm not sure where they live, but right now there's like a whole conversation surrounding her about how her children don't have AC in their bedroom. And it's been a very hot summer for like everybody. And the fact that her children do not have air conditioning in their bedroom is abhorrent to me.
We've been in the living room tonight, and you won't let me.
When did I say you could sleep in the living room?
It's hot in my room. I'm always hot in my room when I sleep in it.
I didn't say you could sleep in the living room.
Why did I not sleep in the living room when it's hot in my room? I'm gonna be on all night. I'm on every single night in my room.
Okay. I got a lint remover.
You got one. Why did you get another one? Your dad?
She's not outing me. She has her own bedroom. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
It's hot in my room, and that's it.
You don't have to sleep in here.
Yeah, but you won't let me sleep in there, and it's hot in
In
my
where?
What?
Sleep in where?
In your room?
No, you're not sleeping in my room.
I know, you never let me.
No, I don't.
And it's hot in my room. That's why I always have to sleep in.
And she used to use the excuse of like not having enough money, all of that, which I can understand and empathize with. But now with the money that she's making off of TikTok, because this girl gets views, okay? A window fan that like sucks in the air and converts it to like cool air that I had in my bedroom growing up as a kid is maybe $50. And she's also constantly showing off like her new nails, her new press-ons, which by the way, shout out to my nail tech. Her name's Amka. She owns and operates Aspire Nail Salon in Denver. I'll have her link down below. Anyways, she also like posts about things that she's doing for herself that would cost money. But then like basically kind of treating her kid like they're stupid for wanting AC or wanting to sleep in her room, which I don't know if we've confirmed that it has AC or not, but like I feel like it probably does. Also, a lot of things have been called into question about just the overall cleanliness of her home. A lot of people have noticed like bugs in the food, and it's very, very cluttered. And she will go to bat saying like her clutter is like normal and stuff like that. And people are like, no, this is dirty. This isn't cluttered. This isn't like normal mom kid mess. This is like dirty. Do something about it.
My house is normal, and I will show it to you. My kitchen. Clutter. That's it. Clutter. No, I don't have maggots. These are all clean dishes. These are the dirty dishes. Those are all clutter, not filth. Clutter. 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 My daughter's room has toys in it. This is my youngest daughter's room. Clutter, I know, is another word for dirty. Please lay off.
A lot of her, Alexandra's defense now of the food, the cleanliness, literally everything is she uses mental health as a shield a lot of the time. I've said before, and I'll say it again, mental health is an explanation and not an excuse. And I've made the decision. I wouldn't call myself child free because kids are not out of the question for me. Out of the question for me right now. I got my tubes tied, which also, by the way, full video coming on that. I know a lot of you are very interested in that, and that whole process. I'm going to do a video on it. I've just been kind of like living with it for a couple months so I can like give you the full rundown of how my experience was. I got my tubes tied because I wanted having children to be a very intentional choice for me. And the reason I did that too is because I have mental health struggles, and I'm not saying people with those like shouldn't have kids. That's insane to say. But it's something that I take into consideration big time when it comes to the idea of potentially having kids, because there's really no day off when you have kids. So that is kind of Alexandra in a nutshell. The next person I'm talking about is the boy mom X3_B or whatever her name is. And I don't think she's as bad as Alexandra is. Like, I don't feel like she neglects her children. The house that she lives in, to me, looks very well kept and very clean and good. The main thing that made her go viral was a video like a week ago or 2 weeks ago of her showing a grocery haul in which it's all junk food. Like, it's all processed food. There's a ton of full sugar pop. I'm from Michigan. Okay. It's pop for me. Just a shit ton of processed foods. Like, she's talking about it like it's stuff that like she had to buy for her kids. And the main thing that made this whole video like go viral was she showed 32 pizzas that she bought for one of her kids. 32 frozen, like mini frozen pizzas that she bought for her kids. And also the price of the haul, which I think was around like $400, $500.
Grocery haul is a 37-year-old full-time working mom of 3 boys who also moved her parents in with her. So we have groceries today from 3 different places. We got groceries from Sam's, Walmart, 4 places. Sam's, Walmart, Food Line, and Piggly Wiggly. And I will tell you the totals for each at the end and then a grand total. So we got 2 containers of the 2-bite brownies, 2 of those because they'll be gone so quick. We got 1 big thing of Cinnamon Toast Crunch because we still had some left over from last trip, so we didn't need as much this time. We got a big box of the oatmeal cream pies. We got some tea. We got some cereal bars. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 big bags of fries. I got some conditioner, some Q-tips, children's Tylenol, some cucumbers, some lettuce. Here's that good old Lewis bread from the Piggly Wiggly. Some bananas. We got 6 blocks of the Monterey Jack cheese. We got a watermelon. We got 2 big things of mayonnaise because we be going through some mayonnaise. We got some grapes. We got some eggs. A few things of the allergy medicine. Some deodorant for my dad. Some antacid for my mom. Lip gloss that my mom got. 2 blocks of the mozzarella cheese. 6 blocks of the mild cheddar cheese. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Dr. Peppers. We got these subs for Bryson. He absolutely loves the Italian hero subs at Walmart. We got 4 of these for him, so this should last him for quite a few days here. We got 1 Mountain Dew because we still have a few of those left, and Brantley is literally the only one that drinks them. We got a box of Fruit Loops. We got 1 bag of the purple Doritos. We got a thing of buttermilk, big bag of sugar. We got 2 gallons of milk. Got a thing of Nabs. We got the Fruit Loops with marshmallows. We got some Oreos. We got 2 packs of Capri Suns. We got 4 New York strips. And Bryce's already working into his stuff. So hold on, we got 2 packs of ribeyes here. We got a thing of drumsticks here. We got 2 packs of pork chops. 32 pizzas.
32 pizzas.
We got tower pizzas again. For Brayden. I will cry. So we wiped them out. We took all they had. And then we got 10 packs of strawberry Kool-Aid. And we got 3 cases of water, but I'm not picking those up for y'all. So yeah, that was included in this. Oh, excuse me. We got 4 cases of water. And then we also ordered an 8-count box of deluxe mac and cheese online at Sam's and an 8-count box of Velveeta mac and cheese at Sam's. That's not here yet. It's going to be shipped here. Okay. All right, so I got all of our totals written down. So online at Sam's was $31.26. In-store at Sam's was $81.56. Food Lion was $55.23. Walmart, so Walmart, we had one total. We did 2 separate orders at Walmart. One was $188.96 and one was $24.15. And then Piggly Wiggly was $95.52. And my mom has a total for me. So all that together is $476.68 today. So a little bit less than last time. But the crazy thing is that we left a lot of stuff off of the list this time because we didn't run out. So I'm just imagining if we hadn't needed that. There's no telling what we would have spent today.
And I think this was either for 1 or 2 weeks. I can't remember. But that is really what made her go viral because she herself is a plus size woman. Parents who live with her are also overweight from the looks of it. And most alarmingly, 2 of her 3 sons are obese and they are very young already. And so I kind of just wanted to talk about this as like a concept with the 2 of them because it's hard, okay? Because I think we've created a society in America where parents have to work. Like both the parents most of the time have to work or they're single or whatever. And so a lot of times with that, there is no one there to do like the child caretaking, right? And so I can understand, and like I said, that's why I brought up my mental health struggles, that like if I had kids at the end of some of my work days and I had to like provide for those children right now and be empathetic and be a good mom and like cook them food and stuff, my head would explode. Okay. And so and I know that about myself right now in this moment. And so that's why I made having kids a very intentional decision for me. And also with the food talk, which I kind of want to talk about more. I know I would have a lot of work to do with my mindset towards food still, so that I would not impose my poor mindset that I've had with food, which I think is honestly the best it's been right now. But like, I would really have to think about how I approach diet and nutrition with my children so that they're not overly obsessed with it, but also they care about it. You know what I mean? And I think that's the issue with, if we're just talking the food with Alexandra and we're talking about it with the boy mom, a lot of people are really, really frustrated because like, if you want to feed yourself that kind of food, go for it. You're an adult. Who cares? Feeding your kids that kind of food because that's all they know, because that's what they've been raised with their whole life. That's where a lot of people are starting to have issues. And I completely understand that because I give my parents a lot of grace with like how they approached food with me growing up and all of that. And I don't think, a lot of people ask me if I like blame my parents for my weight problems my whole life. And the answer is no, I really don't, because like my whole life they were trying, okay? They were trying to do something about my weight. And I get really protective of my parents when I talk about that. And so like, nobody try and fight me. I know my life, you don't. And that could be said for these 2 women, right? Like they know their lives. We don't. We just know what they talk about online. Put a pin in that. We'll come back to that later. Hi, editing Megan here. I didn't have a script for this video, and this is why I need to script every video, because I absolutely did not put a pin in that and absolutely did not come back to it later. So we're going to talk about it right now. I talk about later in the video about how I think part of the whole cycle and whatever is that these moms like lean into the hate and they just like feed into it and stuff to gain more engagement and more than money and all of that. Especially with the pizza mom, she talks about how like, oh, I don't show you everything. Like, we don't show you everything and blah, blah, blah.
I tell you what, some of them people in my comments, y'all are acting wild. Y'all actually think that is all we eat? I mean, I know I'm overweight. Trust me, I get it. But y'all over there in them comments acting like I weigh 500 pounds and I don't even weigh near that. Now, I'm also not going to sit here and say that I eat perfect and so healthy every single day. No, I do not. I know how to eat healthy. Believe it or not, I've actually been super health conscious most of my life. There goes that smoke alarm. We'll come back to that. That's a whole nother topic. But after having 3 children, my body is just not the first baby, I bounced right back. Second baby, I bounced right back even more. Third baby, nope. I don't know if having a C-section made a difference with that third baby. I can't see how it could have. I'm really not sure, but all I know is I did not bounce back after that third baby. Now, I also went through quite a bit after that third baby. So depression set in. However, I do not struggle with depression anymore. I'm totally fine. And I do want to let y'all know, my family has probably an acre of garden every single year, full of fresh veggies. Our freezers are full of fresh veggies. I really don't have to shop for those, aside from a few things. And then y'all want to say I look older than 37. I'm sorry, but I know that is not true. At this point, y'all are just wanting to be mean to me. But I do not get Botox or fillers or any of that stuff. And I know a lot of people do now. And I'm not judging because I might one day. But I haven't. So I actually look my age. Sorry, not sorry. I guess I'll save the smoke alarm for another video because we're running out of time.
And she says, like, because she doesn't show us everything, like, people don't have a right to criticize her. But the thing is like, when that's all you show, that's what the internet is going to take at face value and think that this is all you feed your kids. Like, I know that the pizza mom, her and her family garden, and they have like a pretty big garden from what I understand. But she doesn't talk about that a lot. And she talks about these crazy grocery hauls and leans into that, which I think is just to rage bait and to then get more views and engagement and more money and all of that. And we'll talk about that later in the video. But I just wanted to talk about this here where, like, we don't know their lives. We don't know them, whatever, but we know what they show us online. And that's what people are forming their judgment on, especially Pete. Well, I mean, and Alexandra, but like when it comes to Pizza Mom, because she's the one that really pushes back on this whole thing. She doesn't realize that this is what she shows online. This is what the internet's going to take. And this is what the internet's going to form their judgment on. So yeah, I didn't really talk about that the way I wanted to. So I just wanted to put that here. Okay, bye. My diet growing up obviously was not perfect, but it was sure as hell was not this that we are seeing on these accounts. Okay, absolutely not. It really sucks to see now that I'm like 29, or I'll be 29 on Sunday, the 7th. Happy early birthday to me. Now that I'm like on the other end of reworking my relationship with food and learning how to care about my health and learning the ways in which I like exercising and all of that, I do feel really bad for these kids that they're getting set up in such a poor situation. A lot of people who are talking about this content say, like, I grew up in a 32 pizzas house and it took so much work in adulthood to unlearn those eating habits when it started affecting me. And I think that's really the issue that a lot of people have. I've been thinking a lot about like being a mom and having kids recently. And so I think that's also why I wanted to talk about this. But like, I know I'm not in a place of having kids right now. And again, I want it to be a very intentional decision if I choose to have them biologically, because I want to be in the best health that I can be before I have a child. And I think that's another issue that a lot of people are taking with both Alexandra, but also I've seen it a lot with the boy mom. You're not taking care of yourself, like you're gonna leave these children without a parent at a very young age. And that's something that I take very seriously. And I'm not trying to put myself on a pedestal above these women at all. I'm just coming at it from my view as a woman who may or may not want to have kids, who has made a decision to make it a very, like I said, intentional decision to get pregnant. And so I've just been thinking a lot about this, and I've thought a lot about this in my 20s. And I just know, like, I need to be the healthiest version of myself that I can be for my kids. And I think it is incredibly selfish to not do that work. Even if you've already had kids, like, I think you should want to show up and be the best version of yourself. And I know I'm not a mom. I know that your kids' well-being and stuff like takes precedent over everything else. And I totally understand that. And I know that taking care of yourself once you have kids, especially as a woman, really gets put on the back burner. And I, once again, totally understand that. I just think that it should be a priority. Take care of yourself too, so you can take better care of your kids. I think that's something that I think that should be taken into consideration and is worth getting frustrated over when it comes to these parents. Regarding the 32 pizzas mom, I do think, just as what she's alluded to with her kids, I think the one that she buys the pizzas for, it seems as though he may have like ARFID or something like that. Like, I can empathize with that, but I've also seen moms of neurodivergent kids who have really strong reactions to certain foods, being like, we can like respect those, but also we are the parents and we need to learn to set boundaries and like teach them why certain foods are better than others. Again, I know I'm not a mom, and I know there's a lot of nuance in this conversation. And like I said, we have created a society where like all the parents have to work, which then takes up a lot of mental energy, and it can just make like cooking really hard. And I can empathize with that, because at the end of my work days, I don't want to cook for myself, and it's just me, okay? I think where I have a huge issue with this is the fact that now it is being made content, and like they lean into it. They lean into the hate that they get online, or the hate, quote unquote hate, when really it's just like, a lot of times I see it's a lot of like constructive criticism of like, hey, feed your kids better. Like, they deserve it. I saw some moms respond to this, like especially the 32 pizzas mom, and with Alexandra when she first came about with the donut video. I saw a lot of moms responding, being like, hey, instead of this, you could do this. These are my groceries that I buy for around the same price as you, yada. And I think that's really helpful and really a supportive way to go about it. Because the fact of the matter is too, is like, we only know what we've been taught. And like, if these moms grew up in a 32 pizzas household, this is going to be normal to them, right? I understand that too. But like I said, where I really have an issue with these content creators is it's now content, and it's now a stream of income for them. I think the boy mom, the 32 pizzas mom, has like 50,000 followers or something like that. Alexander has a lot too. Let me see how many. And it's I would guess like a lot of hate watchers. Yeah, she has 821,000 followers on TikTok. And so this has become a stream of income for them, and the rage baiting of it all has become a stream of income for them. And I understand the feeling of, wow, I can make money doing this, because like I'm still in that mode a lot of the time, even though I've been doing this for like 5 years, when what is getting you views is you like harming your children essentially, or in Alexandra's case, fully neglecting them. Like, that is an issue. I really hate to see it because I see a lot of in their content too, like they'll make changes, right? To like with the food conversation, they'll make changes in what they're feeding their kids. Like the pizza mom now hides like cooked cauliflower underneath the extra cheese that she puts on the pizzas so that her son gets like some sort of nutrition. But when they talk about these changes, a lot of times they'll be like, oh, I'm doing it for like my followers or for my watchers or whatever. And I'm like, that should be the last thing on your mind. You should be doing this to help your child introduce more like healthier, nutritious foods into their diet, which consists mostly of pizzas and pop right now. I really hate that like this is getting monetized, and that they now have an incentive to post about mistreating their kids. I think this goes for like any family vlogger, any like child content person, which I have an issue with family content just in general and putting kids on the internet in general. And they lean into the hate so much that it then produces more engagement and more content for them. So it makes them more money. Like Alexandra has really leaned into like the lazy mom, cook dinner with me as a lazy single stay-at-home mom, blah, blah, blah. The 32 pizzas mom really leans into the pizzas, the pizza of it all, because she really doesn't think we understand like her life and what she's doing.
Are you proud of this?
Am I proud of what exactly? Buying groceries for my children or my family? Yeah. I get paid every 2 weeks, and if I budget a certain amount of money to go shopping. Do I purchase the same things every single time? No. Will I always buy pizza? Yes. Always. It is not going to stop. I don't care what y'all think. I don't care what y'all say. I do not care. You literally cannot win on this app. I can't breathe right. It's a crime to use paper plates. I have a garden. I've showed my garden on here. I showed my freezer on here. And even though I showed all of that, they're saying, oh, well, they're from 2022, so she's not eating those. Do you guys not know how that works? Tell me you have not gardened ever in your life without telling me, because that's what you just did. I mean, the comments and just the people telling me how to live my life is absolutely insane. I will never listen to strangers on the internet, ever. I love my life. I love the good people on here that are supportive. All of these amazing people that have been so kind and have supported me. I love you guys. But the hateful ones that are just like here to call me fat or talk badly about my children, which that's going to stop. I'll just not post them. Or I'll block you. But the ones that want to do all that or, you know, tell me how to live my life, I don't care about you. Literally, I don't care. You guys can call me fat until you're blue in the face, and I will not care. So, do what you will. Maybe get a life. Whatever.
Which I can understand to an extent, especially if her son has some kind of ARFID or things like, or something like that. They really lean into the hate. They really lean into the shtick. And I think making a shtick out of mistreating your kids and feeding them the wrong foods and setting them up to fail is like not a cool thing to do. Don't turn it into content and don't turn it into something that makes you money. But again, this goes back to it's an easy way for these women to make money from home, to make extra money for their kids from home. And I can understand the incentive there and how it almost becomes like addicting, maybe. We've created this thing, like I've said a bunch of times in this video already, all the parents have to work or they're a single mom and they're the main source of income, blah, blah, blah. And so it leads to them not having the energy to cook for their children, to provide for their children like that, and to really put a lot of brain power into what they're feeding their kids, which, like, as someone who has an issue feeding herself for the same reasons, I can empathize with, but I don't have kids. And that's a big reason why I don't have kids and why I'm not sure I want kids. So it creates that. And then like they found, oh, I can make this like easy, quote unquote, easy money on TikTok. So I'm going to do that. Alexandra has gone the route of like shilling TikTok shop stuff. And also she partners with a GLP-1 brand because she's on tirzepatide. So Alexandra, her whole income is social media. And so like this is just like such a vicious cycle, and it just doesn't really give an incentive to like be better for them, because like, especially for Alexandra, because being the lazy donut mom that like the whole internet hates gets her views and makes her money. And with the pizza mom, she works a job outside of social media, and so I can really empathize with the not having the energy maybe to feed your kids things. But then again, she talks about how she cooks like 3 separate things for her kids. And so I'm like, what if we put all of that brain power of cooking 3 separate meals for our 3 kids into cooking one nutritious, good meal that they will all like and they will get adequate nutrients and health things from? Again, not a mom. So, but that's just like thinking logically, you know? I just think TikTok has created this, or social media in general, it can go back to creating this vicious cycle of like people hate watch stuff, which then gives these creators like more incentive to keep doing the things that people are hate watching. But only now, instead of it just being like a weird person online, it's kids are involved. And I think kids should never be put on social media. And that's like the whole video could end there, honestly. But like, I've just been seeing this so often with moms in particular feeding their kids shitty food. And then it farms engagement. So then it gives them more incentive to keep doing it. And I think that's gross. And we as a society should not be letting this happen. Let me know what you think down below. I've yapped about this for 27 minutes. Hopefully I can turn this into a video that makes sense. Like I said, I'm not putting myself on a pedestal above these women because like I don't have kids. I don't know that life. I don't know that experience, but it's just like I've been thinking a lot about how I'd want to be a mom, single or not, and like how I'd want to show up for my kids. And like these two and all of the other creators like them that I've seen are the exact opposite of that. And yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think down below. I just wanted to talk about this for a little bit because it's been on my noggin because I keep seeing things about it online. And yeah, leave a pizza emoji down below if you made it this far. Thank you so much to FlexiSpot for sponsoring today's video and sending me this chair that I love very much. And you can see the light through it too, which I like. That's all I have to say. Remember to be kind to yourself, be kind to others, drink your water, take your meds if you need them, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye.